Hi guys, today's an exciting day. We're going to be looking at the Leatherman Captain's Crunch Garage number 8. It was just released a couple of days ago. Only 1,900 of them available worldwide. And a huge thanks and shout out to my friend Carl. Without him, there wouldn't be one to review today, so yeah, thanks a lot for that. Let me just show you, this is the original Crunch as we know it, the Leatherman Crunch, and as you can see, it's a really clever design. I love this, one of my favourite Leathermans. Not so much for tools and the amount of stuff that's on there, or usage really, even though it's quite a useful thing for clamping down and stuff like that, but it's just the engineering that fascinates me, how clever it is to get something in such a tiny little package like this. And these were discontinued a couple of years ago. This particular one I've got here is a 21, but I think this is the last batch. So this came with a nylon sheath. I'm just showing you the tools that are on this. We have... Just get them all out. Serrated, this is all oil on here. Serrated blade. We've got a what do we call it? A file, cross-cut and standard file. We've got a 3D Phillips head, small flat screwdriver, and a medium screwdriver there. As you guys already know, it's got this mechanism which clamps down. That's the adjuster for the tension on the arm, on the plier head. Wire stripper. I've gone through this before, and I'm sure you've all seen it before, but I thought I'd just show you. Actually, what would be more fitting than opening the package with a crunch? Who else has done that, huh? Right, let's have a look. Okay. Here it is, the package. I have not opened it yet. You guys are the first to see it, as well as me, so we'll look at this together. What have we got here? Yes. Ooh. Oh, exciting. How do you open it? Okay. Always satisfying. Where are we? It's in here somewhere. There's a little box. Unassuming box. Let's open it up. Oh, don't want to damage it. Wow. Leatherman Garage. The series, batch number. Shows you how to use it. I was about to say we know how to use it, but we probably don't. Well, I don't, because it's slightly different inside. What have we got? Oh, sorry, let me just... There we go. You can actually see now. We have their leather... Oh, what's in here? Leather sheath. How cool is that? It's got... You've got your cross-cut and diamond file. And you've got your wood saw. I like this case. Look at that. It's got a little section in to keep the bits in. Proudly made in the USA. Well, I will say this is a lot better than the sheath that came with the Arc Obsidian. It's really supple, nice leather, and I was about to say the stitching looks fine, but this one's riveted, so they can't make too many mistakes with the stitching. Well, it seems pretty well finished. Yep. Keep those there. Oh, now the exciting bit. Have we got anything else in here? No. So we'll put the packaging aside for a second. Here it is. Oh yeah, so you got your numbers there. I'll have to decode those later on. Just make sure everything works. That's nice. Ooh. Nice. See the little gold bits peeking out there. We'll have a look at those in a second. Everything else is exactly the same. Right, what have we got? We have a bit driver, and it's in this gold PVD coating. All their bit drivers are always slightly different. I'm just trying to work out. No way. The retention is actually a piece of rubber. Can you see that? That's like a rubber core that just holds it in. Yeah, you can feel it as it's going in. That's interesting. What a simple idea. And obviously when that wears out, you can just replace it with another piece of rubber. I quite like that idea, actually. There's no movement really in the bit. Yeah, that's quite clever. It's a nice way of pushing that in. It feels okay. That's a good idea. I like it. Ooh. Put that back in. He's always put me on edge. Here is a scalpel blade holder. This is what fascinated me. I wanted to know. Okay. So that's the T-shank holder. Right, let's take this blade out. Because like I say, they put me on edge a bit, these things. So you've got like a little scalloped section there, so you can grab hold of the top of that and hopefully be ready for some... there you go. Let's get rid of that. So we can put the blade in there. That's clever. So it's as soon as you got it out of the locking mechanism, obviously this moves because it's got the same groove as the actual bit itself. So as soon as that's locked, that won't move out. Got a bit of wobble on there, but they're all the same for that really. Apart from my surge, which seems to be a bit of a pain, things like that. So yeah, there's a bit of a wobble there, but that's not too bad. What a clever idea. That's an issue though, I suppose. You're losing a section of whatever you've put in here. So especially if we... let me get rid of that bit. If we take out this and put in saw blade, look, you're losing a good couple of centimetres, I think, of blade, which that isn't a great idea. That's a bit of a shame. Obviously these won't close into the frame. You can't do it anyway. It's almost designed so you deliberately can't do that, but yeah, they won't fit. You could, I suppose. Oh no, you couldn't because all the jaws and stuff have got to go in there. So if we, hang on, bear with me, put that there, and those together, like that. Have I done that right? Come on, Matt, what are you doing? There we go. Okay, that's another interesting... okay, it's gone in. So there you go, you've got your setup like that. That's really cool. I really like it. That is a bit of a shame. I personally never use a scalpel, but obviously this is without a blade now, like you get on the... I mean, it's only a serrated blade that comes with the original Crunch, but this, you won't have a blade because you've got this system. So the scalpel is your main blade, if you like. Again, liner locked, you press that. That frees that up. I like I think the T-shank idea is pretty cool. Let's put which way are we going? Put this back on. I don't like them. Nope, that's not right. Let's get this right. So difficult on looking through a lens. God, it's really tight. Have I done that right? Oh, there we go. Have I cut myself? Nope. And that's it. I'm noticing this catching on mine. You've got to sort of twist the frame a little bit to get it to pop back in, but I don't know. With a bit of use it might free up a bit. I really like the gold accents on it. Nice. Right, let's fold it back up. Cool. Yeah. I haven't seen any, apart from this, any issues. Well, I don't know why that's catching on there. That's not so great. Really tight against the frame. That's going to end up probably scratching that PVD coating, but okay. Right, let's get rid of this. Now, handling both of these, I don't know if it's my imagination, but oh, I don't know. I was about to say, it feels a bit heavier than the original. Let's have a little look. Get me scales out. Turn it on. Right, we're starting grams. So we have got the original Crunch, which is 193 grams. And, oops, and the new one is actually lighter. Would you believe it? I'm going to sort of reposition this a bit and try again. Original 193, new one 188. How bizarre. So it's a little bit lighter. I suppose this has got more tools in it, hasn't it? In a way, but I don't know. Oh, actually, let me show you guys in ounces. Sorry about that. I keep forgetting. So the new one is 6.6 ounces and the old one is 6.8 ounces. There you go. Thing is with the Crunch, there's never a huge amount of tools in them, so not a huge amount to talk about. Like I say, the thing that fascinates me is the actual engineering of that ply head. I just love the way, how much thought would have gone into that just to get that to work, and work well. They do work very well. Anyway, so that's a short video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.